I would say this. I probably said the first day that we would focus on emerging markets, and that had a lot to do with my history and my appreciation for the opportunity. I think, as in most companies, until you remove the natural barriers that previously existed, that prevented Nielsen from moving more aggressively into the developing markets, until you remove those barriers, it was really hard to do. I think probably 18 months, 2 years ago, those barriers were far enough down that the investment levels and, more importantly, the capabilities of the company could project to the emerging markets in a much easier way. It was all about the potential here, and really what it was is, in the old company, the only people who really knew how big India could be were the people in India. And in a big company, a multinational like ours, or our clients, the hard job is, how do you make everyone who grew up in the developed world, the Western world, how do you make them understand how big it is and what the opportunity is? So they just don't know what they don't know. So it's educating, it's giving them experience, it's having lots of people fly here. I had my entire leadership team here visiting Indian consumers and understanding what that opportunity and potential was, and every single leader who left India to go home understood clearly why it was such a high priority. I'm just out there. My objective is to be the first guy or the first company to measure that rural consumer. And so our job is to invest a lot and to create both a measurement science network and then a trend so that the marketers and manufacturers can come to us and understand not just how big the market is today, but what happened to it over the last year or 2 years. So in order to build those trends, you have to invest at least 2 years ahead of your clients, if not 3. And so that's the philosophy that we take. And the 3 great areas where we're doing this are built around populations, and that means rural India, rural China, and sub-Saharan Africa. I'll call it the extension of media from a traditional television-based viewership to now a social-based audience in the online community, or what we all call digital. In my view, the power of that digital audience is at the very early stages of both understanding and certainly at the early stages of advertising reach. The thing that actually excites me the most about social media and the development of it has less to do with its power as an advertising medium, has more to do with its power as in demand formation. I still think television, I don't think, I know by virtue of the measurement that we bring, is still the most effective form of advertising. It reaches more people in a well-designed commercial with a clear message. There is no better way to reach consumers. I don't know the answer to that, but it wouldn't bother me if it was true.
Okay.
So custom research for me and for our company it's important because clients need it. The word custom means it's uniquely suited for their needs, and in the research world, that's important. And I always allow for our regional teams to originate their business and develop relationships with clients, starting with custom research. I don't want to kid anybody about my business interests. Custom research as a business is not the greatest business in the world. That's just a fact. So I try to use custom research to create new syndicated forms of information. Because the business I like is the one that every next project helps to inform the subsequent project. Because it informs a data set in a new way, and it's the collective data set that creates value. And that's another way of describing syndicated, but that is the model that Nielsen prefers. I have not seen an opportunity yet that entices me. I think our opportunity in India is to invest and build from what we have. So I will ask our NM Insight company to invest more and to do more so that we can become the clear leader in the market. The phenomena of in the retail world around kiranas and the local personal touch that exists in traditional trade in India is unique in the world. It's unique relative to China. It's unique relative to all of the other major developing markets that I've been around. It's an equal JV.
Okay.
I like it. I think the partnership with WP makes a lot of sense. And our approach is similar to the approach we use in other parts of the world in measuring television. I think the challenge in India is the fragmentation. This is probably the most fragmented market in the world. And therefore the sampling basis of which we use, it just has a higher margin of error. That's measurement science. That's what that is. We never get a station or a broadcaster whose market share is growing. They never complain ever. But clearly those whose audiences might be contracting do. That's the nature of that business, right? So we will always endeavor to do it better. We'll always endeavor to create bigger samples and to I would just say reduce variability based on the science itself. But we like the joint venture, we like the measurement. I wanted to simplify the way we talk about our company in ways that you could actually talk to your children if you had to, and they would get it. So you may recall 5 years ago we had lots of different companies within Nielsen, lots of different product names and brands that we tried to promote and coordinate. But if you ever had to go home to your children and describe what you did, it would be very difficult. So our notion was, let's describe it as a company that's built on information that we collect in a systemic way, and then the reporting of that information, and then the insights that we can provide from that information to help our clients compete. And we said we would do it around two fundamental consumer acts. One is the act of buying, and the other is the act of watching.